in the Vivekachudamani of Shankaracharya. Till now, till the third shloka, Shankaracharya is telling us how this human birth is rare and how after having attained this human birth and also having attained the quality of manliness and also having attained the quality of yearning for liberation called moksha, one should make the best of this birth and should think about the ultimate principle or Brahman. In the fourth verse he says, Labdhva katanchit narajanma durlabham tatrapi pumstvam shrutipara darshanam yastvatma uktau na yateta mudadihi sahi atmaha swam vinihanti asadgrahat. The person who labdhva, having attained, katanchit, by some means, by whatever means a person has attained, katanchit, what has that person attained? Narajanma durlabham. Durlabham narajanma. The rare human birth a person has attained by some method. We don't know how that person has attained, by some method. How does a person attain higher birth like Narajanma? By performing meritorious actions, by performing good actions over a period of several births. Then the person attains this human birth. Having attained this birth, also tatrapi, and further in that birth having attained pumstvam, the quality of manliness, the quality of being confident of one's true personality, manliness. Swami Vivekananda says manliness is a quality which every person should have and also every woman should have, for which there is no name. Shruti Paradarshanam. And also, after understanding Paradarshanam, mastering, Paradarshanam, mastering the Shrutis. Shrutis are what? Those texts or those words of wisdom which have been transmitted through word of mouth, through hearing, Shravana, Shruti. So through hearing, not through some printed material, but through hearing. So Shravana, Shruti. And then there is Smriti like Yajnavalkya Smriti, Manu Smriti, etc. or Mahabharata, etc., which are all written and which have things which may change from time to time. Manu Smriti is like the Indian Penal Code. It changes from time to time. So Swami Vivekananda says whenever there is a conflict between Shruti and Smriti, you follow the Shruti, that is the Vedas. So Shruti Paradarshanam, a person who has understood the import or the meaning or the central theme or message of the Vedas, that person, Yahatu Atma Muktau Na Yateta, a person who does not struggle for Atma Muktau. A person does not struggle for the liberation of the Atman. Liberation of the Atman means liberation of oneself, liberation of self-liberation. A person who, after having attained the human birth, after having attained the quality of manliness, and also having understood the meaning of the Vedas, does not put his mind or her mind on attaining the self-liberation or self-realization or God realization, that person is Mudadihi. That person is how? Mudadihi. That person is foolish. Dhi means intelligence. Mudha means foolish. That person is of a dull intelligence. Foolish. So you have come to this world. You have come to this body. So human body is considered to be the best place for exhausting one's karma. That's why this world is called Karma Bhumi. Also the human body is called Karma Bhumi. Why is it considered to be the best suited or suitable for exhausting one's karma? Because all the other animals or most of the other living beings are unconscious of what they do. So a pig is there. So pig eats, and Swami Vivekananda says that we can never eat like a pig. So we may relish a food, we may enjoy eating a food, but never like a pig. For the pig, the food itself is the whole world. It will eat the food and it will become the food itself when it is eating. So, like that, other living beings also, they are constantly engaged in eating, drinking, procreation, or uh, finding some shelter, etc. They are engaged constantly in means of protecting themselves in the struggle for survival. But it is the human being who thinks more than these things, thinks something more than just the struggle for existence. So even after coming to this human birth, if somebody is not thinking of attaining self-realization or liberation, then that person is mudadihi. That person is a foolish person. So bhaja govindam, bhaja govindam, bhaja govindam mudamate. Samprapte sannihite marane nahi nahi rakshati dukrin karne. So dukrin karne is sutra of grammar. So this grammar will not help you. Shankaracharya says in that stotra, when you are attaining death. When death is coming near, this grammar or knowledge will not help you. So, bhaja govindam, bhaja govindam, bhaja govindam, mudamate. O mudamate, a person of less intellect or a foolish person, you bhaja govindam, you pray or worship Govinda or the Lord, because only that will help you. This will not help you. This knowledge of grammar or this empirical knowledge will not help you. And a person who does not strive for attaining self-realization, what kind of person is this? Sahi Atmaha. That person is like a person who has committed suicide. Atmaha. Ha means to kill and Atma means oneself. So this person is like a person who is committing suicide. In the Upanishad also we see that when a person does not attain Atmahano, this word is coming there. A person who does not attain self-realization or does not strive to attain self-realization, Atmahana Janaha. So in the Upanishads we see that a person who does not attain self-realization or does not struggle to attain self-realization is like a person who commits suicide. Who commits suicide. So nowadays if you commit suicide, it is not possible. Because if you want to commit suicide, either you need poison. So if you drink poison, then you will die. But nowadays there is so much of adulteration in poison that you will not die. And then you need to, suppose there is a fan, a ceiling, and there is this place for fan, and then you put rope and then you try to hang yourself. So nowadays good quality ropes are also not available. And if you have little more weight, some average weight, then the ceiling itself will come down. So that is also not possible. Then if you want to jump into a river, all rivers are dry, there is no water. If you stand upside down, water will come up to your nose. So that is also not possible. And then if you want to die by jumping in front of a train, because all trains are running late, so that is also not possible. So It's very difficult to commit suicide nowadays. So instead of that, what you should do, you just try to live a normal life, drink milk, eat food, and you will die immediately. Because you see, milk is no milk, it has got phenyl and all those things. Recently in Mumbai, it has been found out that milk has got washing powder, everything is there in milk. So if you just take milk and want to live properly, you will die. So that is what, that's atmahna. People try to commit suicide, and once a person doesn't succeed in committing suicide, then the person never commits suicide. That is the psychology. So suicide, or some people have this tendency also to commit suicide again and again. So that is a clinical problem, a psychological problem. So this Shankaracharya says here that it is like committing suicide. Swam vinihanti asad grahat. So asad, that which is unreal. Asat means that which is unreal. That is not, which is not going to be permanent, which will not stay forever. That which is not permanent but temporary. So grahat, to holding on to that. Asat grahat, holding on to something which is temporary. Temporary, and then by holding on like that, vinihanti, swam vinihanti. Vinihanti kills, swam oneself. So one kills oneself by holding on to something which is unreal or impermanent. So Kalidasa was found where? On top of a tree, trying to cut a branch. Which branch? In the branch, on the branch in which he was sitting. He was trying to cut. So the queen, or the princess, she wanted to marry a person who will give answers to all the questions she asks, and nobody she was marrying. So the minister was fed up with this princess, so he wanted to teach her a lesson. So he sent people to find out a person who is totally foolish, and they found out Kalidasa, ideal candidate, because he was sitting on a branch of a tree and cutting that branch. So he said, okay, this person is wonderful. So her egotism, that she is very intelligent, etc., will be broken. So like that. So if you hold on to something which is shaky, so Kalidasa is sitting on a branch and cutting it, it is shaky, and he is sitting on that branch. So holding on to something which is shaky, this whole world is an illusion. It's an illusion because of ignorance. And if we hold on to this world and say that no, I have got money in this bank, and so nobody knows what will happen to the economy. Suddenly all interest rates will fall down, and your money, you were thinking you are having so much money, everything is going down. So you are holding, what is your sense of security? Your sense of security is all that is impermanent. You are holding on to this body, and you are looking in front of the, you are standing in front of the mirror, and by this side and that side you see constantly. Many people spend lot of time in front of the mirror. They see like this, and they think I am so beautiful, etc. But it will stay for how many years? Few years. Or even if you are going to be beautiful till you die, after you die all beauty will go. So that is something which is shaky, which is something which is impermanent. Somebody purchases a house and keeps, so suddenly one earthquake comes, house goes away. Or somebody wants to, government wants to make a flyover or a highway nearby your plot of land or house, all the price of that real estate goes away. So, but that is what your sense of security is. But if your sense of security were to be Atman, then it will not be shaken. It will not be shaken. Most of our people, most of us, our sense of security is what the other person thinks about me. So that is why if everybody respects me, then I am confident. But if people don't respect me, then my confidence goes into pieces. So that is the thing. So you are holding into two things, you are holding on to things, you are holding to things which are impermanent. Asat grahat. You are holding on to things which are impermanent. And so you vinihanti. You kill yourself. You kill yourself by holding on to things which are not permanent. So if there should be motion, one thing should be stationary and the other thing should be moving on it. If suppose the road also starts moving and vehicles move on that road, no motion can take place. No movement can take place. So the substratum or the base should be stationary. So we should hold on to that one thing which is permanent. And what is that? That is God. That is God. The one thing that is permanent is God or Atman or Brahman. So this we have to hold on to. And if we don't do this, then it will be like committing suicide. And so Sri Ramakrishna says that the goal of human life is self-realization or attaining God realization. To realize the God is the goal of human life. Then Shankaracharya says, Itaha ko nvasti mudhatma yastu swarte pramadyati durlabham manusham deham prapya tatrapi paurusham. So, ko asti mudhatma. Who is greater fool here? Here, who is their greater fool? Itaha mudatma konu asti. Who is greater fool than a person swarte pramadyati, who does not try to achieve the real goal of this life. Who does not try to achieve the real goal of this life. Swarthe. So, real goal of the life, one who does not try to achieve, who neglects pramadyati. Swarthe. Usually swartha means selfishness, but here swarthe means the true goal of life. So, pramadyati, one who neglects or one who does not do that, does not try to achieve that goal, who that person, who can be greater a fool than that person? Who can be a greater fool than that person? Why? Because you have got durlabham manusham deham. You have got this rare human body and tatrapi paurusham, and also you have got manliness, the quality of manliness still. So how many people are interested in spirituality? Very few. How many people are interested in religious life? Very few. Religious life, the mechanical religious life, all people do, so that not to get into any trouble with any god, etc. So go to your temple and give some donation, etc. Go to ashrama, give some donation. Okay, now my children and everybody will be all right. That kind of religious life everyone can do. But spiritual life, how many people are interested? So somehow, by some method, unknown method, katanchit, by somehow you have got this idea of spirituality in this very life. So now you should not give up this. You should not give up this, and you should struggle for attaining the real goal of human life that we have to try to attain. Now, this is very important. Why? Because people, what they talk of, if you take our daily routine from waking up till we go to bed again, we talk about so many useless things. Our whole life is wasted if you see doing useless things. So for example, we have this idea of passing the time pass. So most of the time we are doing only that. We are time pass. We are passing the time. So after some time, the whole life itself is a time pass. Then we think, oh, I am going to die. Even materially, we don't think many things. So afterwards we say, oh, now I am going to die. I wanted to do that. I wanted to do this. I wanted to study this. I wanted to go to that place. What did you do? Your whole life has gone away. So no. At that time, what do? We don't. For example, people have plenty of free time. But what do people do? They simply talk, or they simply while away their time. Many people can simply sit like that and just see, doing nothing, absolutely nothing. Why? If you have free time, you can study some book. It could be any book you can study. or you can do some work. People don't do. People don't do. You go to any office and you will see, now I don't have anybody, I don't have any work, and they're simply sitting. Or they will simply take the mobile phone and talk all kinds of rubbish. So wasting our time. Why? We don't have this idea, we don't have this sense or sensibility that our time is being wasted for all petty things. So after coming to this kind of a life, after coming to human life, and also after having some idea of spirituality, if you don't struggle to attain the highest goal of this life, then you are a big fool. You are a great fool. Then Shankaracharya says, Vadantu Shastrani Yajantu Devan Kurvantu Karmani Bhajantu Devataha Atmaikya Bodhena Vinapi Muktihi Na Siddhyati Brahma Shatantarepi Va Shatantarepi Atmaikya Bodhena Vinapi Muktihi Na Siddhyati Brahma Shatantarepi. So Shankaracharya says that Shastrani Vadantu. It may be that people talk about Shastras. So somebody knows the Gita, Upanishads, etc., etc., and they simply start quoting from that or talking about that, etc. Yajantu Devan, and maybe that person is worshipping different gods or offering sacrifice to different gods. Kurvantu karmani. And karmani means rituals, performing different rituals. Maybe that person is, people are doing. And bhajantu devataha. And also yajantu devan, giving, conducting sacrifice, yajna, for different devatas, and worshipping also, bhajantu devataha. And also worshipping different deities. Atmaikya bodhena vinapi muktihi. But muktihi, a person does not get liberation. That is, what is liberation? Stopping of cessation of repeated births and deaths. Again and again you are coming to this world, and again you are going. So that will stop. That is called mukti or liberation. So that is not possible without realizing Atma Aikya. What is Atma Aikya? That is identity with Atman. Identity with Atman means Aham Brahmasmi. That means I am that Brahman. That means there is no difference between me and the consciousness. Me means what? Not this body and mind. But my true personality is not this body and mind, and I have no difference. I am the same. I am identical with the ultimate principle. I am identical with consciousness, Sat Chit Ananda. So that idea, that realization one should get. So if that realization one person does not get, what will happen? Na siddhyati brahma shatantarepi. That person will not attain realization even if brahma shatantarepi, even in the lifetime of shata, 100 brahmas, even if that person lives the life of 100 brahmas. So one brahma's life is 432 million years of human life. 432 million means 401 million means 10 lakhs. So 432, 4,320 lakhs. 4,320 lakhs of years of human life is one lifetime of, sorry, one day of Brahma. One day of Brahma. One day of Brahma is 4,320 human lakh lives. Lakh years. Years. 4,320 lakh human years is one day. So there is this joke said that a person went to Brahma And then he said, no, a person meditated and Brahma came, and then he said, okay, now I want to go to, I want a better birth or something. So this person said, okay, Brahma said, you come to my place. And then he said, okay, wait for one day. You wait for one day. So you will get a better birth. So one day means this 4,320 lakh years. One day of Brahma. So Brahma Shatantarepi means into 100. This is one day, and that is lifetime. Brahma Shatantarepi means the life of 100 Brahmas. So that is something unimaginable. Huge span of time. So the idea is, if you don't understand that the Atman or Brahman is the same as your self, not this body and mind, but your true self, if you don't understand that, even if you live for crores and crores of years, you will not attain liberation. You will have to again come and again go. So even if you study the scriptures, even if you do worship, even if you do the sacrifice, even if you do different rituals, this you should understand. So many devotees, they say, Maharaj, why did this happen to me? I go regularly to the ashrama. I go regularly to all classes I attend. And in my house I have a big shrine. I have kept all the photographs from all places I have purchased and kept. And I go and offer pranams and pranami also every time. Then why did this happen to me? Because you have not understood that you are not the body and the mind. You have not understood that you are the Atman. That is why you are telling, why did this happen to me? Because that will happen to you again and again. Till you get this knowledge that you are not different from Atman. You are not different from Atman. Aikya. Till you get this Atma Aikya Bodha. Till you get the knowledge of the identity with the Atman. Till then you have to suffer. So you may go to temples, you may go to ashrama, you may spend lot of money. That will not help you at all. That is totally useless. So what is a Mahavakya? Mahavakya is the Vakya or the sentence which gives you the identity of Jiva and Brahma. So Jiva, Brahma, Aikya, Pratipadaka, Vakya. The sentence which tells you the identity of Jiva and Brahma is Mahavakya. So there are so many Mahavakyas like Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, I am Atma Brahma, Prajnanam Brahma, etc. These four Mahavakyas have been taken from four Vedas. But whole Veda, the entire Vedas, they are full of Mahavakyas. So why are these Mahavakyas present? So that we remind ourselves that we are not this body and mind. We are, our true identity is something great. So by studying Vivekachudamani, will you attain moksha? No, you will not. By studying Bhagavata, by studying anything, will you attain moksha? No. By simply studying, you will not attain. By understanding the inner meaning or the hidden meaning or the meaning of the scriptures, that is, what is the meaning of the scriptures? That you are not different from the Atman. Only when you understand that, then you will get moksha. Otherwise, you will not get moksha. And once you understand that, then all these suffering in this world is useless. Means it doesn't, all this suffering in this world will not bother you. Because you know that I am not this body and I am not this mind. But you will have some pain, but that body will have pain, mind will have pain. And you will understand yourself to be separate from the body and the mind. And that is the core thing you have to do. Instead of what should I do? People have this question always, what should I do so that I will get peace? What should I do so that I will get no more suffering? What should I do? So you cannot do anything. By doing what you will get no more suffering? Nothing. So you have to first understand. It is not doing, but that understanding you should gain. That knowledge you should gain that I am not the body, I am not the mind, and I am not different from the Atman. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat.